Welcome back, chums. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're gonna be talking about Cyberpunk 2077, or well, more specifically, we're gonna be going into quest mods in the game, because lately I've been getting questions from people asking like, okay, what is going on? Why are we getting so many quest mods in Cyberpunk? And honestly, I am very excited for it, and there's a few reasons why I want to talk about that and why I want to bring you up to speed when it comes to everything quest mod related. So let's begin. So one of the first things we're going to talk about, and this is something I've been following for, quite some time now as it has been in development, because I've also covered the mods created by Deceptius in the past as well. So what he created is called the Deceptius Quest Core, and this basically adds a framework that allows the triggering or activation of multiple quest type mods from the same hook without incompatibility or increased complexity. All quest mods using this framework simply need the user to leave and re-enter V's H10 apartment. After that, any newly installed quests will now be active. So this framework is amazing because, as it says, it eases how mod creators are going to be creating these quest mods, and at the same time it is easier for people to download these mods because they don't have to download 10 other mods to basically run this one, because the quest core, or well, this framework, is going to be one of the most crucial parts to be used into having these mods load in once you go into the game. So multiple quests, multiple mods, not an issue anymore. But again, keep in mind, mod authors who are working on these mods, they have to use this framework in order to do this, or they can create their own one, it depends really. So now that you have downloaded the actual mod I talked about, the Deceptius Quest Core, we're going to download two quests which I've been really enjoying so far. The quests are called Californication and One More Light. So let's begin with Californication. So Californication is also a mod created by Deceptius, which uses his framework to give you that quest. Now, of course, there are some quest requirements here. It's not something you can just load in and play. So for example, for this you will need the next. You would have had to have romanced Judy. Also, Judy stays in Night City, and you have had a positive conversation with Judy's abuela. And also, quests can trigger once at least 24 hours have passed since the final romance text from Judy, and at least 24 hours after installing the mod. So keep in mind, for this you will have to wait in the game a little bit, go do something, skip time, and the quest is going to appear. You don't have to worry about it, but you will have to have these requirements in order to trigger it. Now for the next one, it is called One More Light. It is also by Deceptius. So for this, you will have to have attended Jackie's ofrenda, or well, his funeral, or whatever they call it. By extension, you also didn't send his body to Vix. So if you did these things, well, this quest is going to trigger. And people also said to me, like, you really need a lot of requirements to trigger these quests, and yes, I agree, but this is just how the mod author intended it to be. But I'm not excluding the fact that with this framework we're gonna be getting more quests. Now, of course, people have tried this in the past. You have had a few different script hooks and different scenarios you could play out before. Like, for example, you were able to be a courier to deliver stuff throughout Night City or survive a vase of enemies, but this is totally different because this is a proper quest structure, and this is really well done in that sense. So I'm really looking forward to, and if are people gonna be creating more quests in this framework and just play it around. Now the next mod we're going to install today and talk about is one of my personal favorites. It is called Stealthrunner. So Stealthrunner enhances and expands a stealth gameplay and stealth approach in Cyberpunk in general, and not just stealth approach, but also gives you various other abilities and perks you can use to enhance your stealth gameplay. Like, for example, first off, if we go to our inventory when we install the mod, we're going to go on character, and below it we're going to see a new icon called Stealthrunner. We're going to click it, and here we have a few things. First off, we have a couple of rewards. So we have the Ghost, Shadow, Pacifist, No Touch, and Hero. And every single one of these is going to, well, have a different requirement. For example, like Hero, complete quests and gigs where innocent civilians are at risk without allowing them to die, and while incapacitating all of the enemies threatening the victim. So basically, don't touch any NPCs which are non-combatants and you will earn this. But also, it gives you various other perks to check out. Like for example, you can take control of a surveillance camera when standing next to one without a cyber deck. Before, you need a cyber deck to do it, so you're going to just get it as we would with anything else. Here we also have Pickpocket, which is going to allow us to loot enemies from behind while undetected, so we're also going to get this. Now, of course, you can upgrade this perk, which is going to, well, increase or, well, decrease the risk of you pickpocketing someone so that someone doesn't turn around and start shooting you. Also, we have this one, the Picksocket, which pickpocketed enemies will have an amount of eddies based on their type and level, so we're going to get this one as well. Now, of course, you can experiment with all of these because there's a few other perks you can check out, like for example, mine activation time is increased by 100% because you are featherweight. Also, we have Socket Spy, which is going to basically tell us if an enemy is carrying shards and access cards. This is going to be very useful if you want to pinpoint only one person to shoot or incapacitate. And besides that, you also have audio disruption, which reduces footsteps audio radius by 50%. So all of these things are going to be a huge plus if you are going into stealth builds in general. And also, of course, on the side, you have a very neat thing with stats. So it's going to tell you everything you have done throughout ever since installing this mod. Keep in mind, it's not going to, you know, learn what you've been doing before and prior to installing the mod in general. And of course, also every single time you have assault in progress or a different mission, you're going to get some optional things you can do, as I said previously, like either not being seen or not having any casualties of NPCs or any innocent people, and it's going to appear below the actual objective you have every single time you do it. So basically it's up to you to see how are you going to approach this mission and which part of this thing are you going to actually fulfill, because each and every single one of these is going to, well, give you some rewards. So, well, it's up to your gameplay and your way of doing things to figure out how you want to do this. So now that we are done with quest mods, I'm going to give you a few more mods for you to check out. In general, the first one, which I really do recommend and something I've been playing around with for my next lore video, is called Photomode Facial Expression Mega Pack. So what this mod does, it gives you a lot of new expressions in the photo mode. So as you're scrolling through expressions on your V, you're going to get a lot more variety for you to take those images in. And not only that, they also included animated expressions, meaning that your character is going to do a certain animation, either smile or nod or whatever, and it's going to loop around the same expression over and over. This can be used to create some interesting stuff, but I've been using it in my, upcoming lore videos where I need some movement in my scenes, especially if I'm only doing some footage where people are not moving. So this is definitely a huge plus to check out for people who are, playing around with photo mode a lot. And of course, as I promised in my previous modding video, every single time I do a mod quest now, I'm going to include an outfit or a piece of clothing. And for this, I chose Yaahl tech boots. So these tech boots are amazing because first off, they come in both female and male V options, so you can download depending on which character you have. But I like how they look, I like the texture, I like the design, I like the material being used, and overall I like how they look in the game because yes, they kind of fit, and this can be a really nice addition for your custom V in general and how you play it. So definitely get this one. Now, so after you install this mod, you will just have to go into your console, which I showed in my previous modding video. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out my previous video, and it's going to be at the beginning. So for this, you just open up the console and you basically paste in this code: game, add to inventory, items, and continue with this. Different codes are going to give you different colors of the boot, so you choose which ones you want in particular. And of course, vehicle mods. Vehicle mods have been getting added into the game a lot lately, and this is specifically for Control Sec, who has been doing amazing work to add all of these vehicles into the game. So first one we're going to cover is going to be Blade Runner Spinner. If you've been a fan of Blade Runner, you know which this vehicle is, and honestly it fits very much into this Cyberpunk universe. Now at the same time, if you want to go around and fly with it, I do recommend installing Let There Be Flight mod with this, because when this thing flies, it can really give you that amazing Blade Runner vibe to it, and it can be just amazing to stroll around Night City during the night with this. So I definitely recommend getting this one. And also when it comes to quality and the design and the handling of the vehicle, it is pretty good. It is alright when it comes to that. And of course, the second vehicle mod, also from Control Sec, is the 95 McLaren F1. Another amazing vehicle, and it also has various different variations when it comes to color, when it comes to everything else. You can pick and choose which one you want for yourself. But if you wanted some new vehicles, if you got bored with all of the vehicles which are already included in the game, you can download this one as well. But if you want even more vehicle mods, again, check out my other modding video which I did a few days ago. And this is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to tell me down below if you enjoyed any one of these mods, and if you're gonna be downloading them. I really do recommend installing these story mods and quest mods. They're really amazing, and I'm very much looking forward to everything else. I'm gonna try to do a quest mod in the future, but I'm kind of weak in knowledge when it comes to that. Well, I'll try to figure out something, and I'll try to at least have a basic quest at the beginning that you can kind of go through and let me know how it is. But for that, I will be keeping everyone posted. Also, if I missed any mods, if you want to see some more mods, just let me know down below, and I will be covering in the next video that I do. And that's pretty much it. This is LKM signing out. Stay classy, everyone. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button for more if you enjoyed this video. And also don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Discord. And huge thanks to my current Patreon and YouTube supporters. Thank you again. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.